Hey everybody, happy Friday and welcome back to the channel. I hope you had a great Halloween. Now let's dive into business here. Can you name 3 companies that Alphabet owns? Jump down in the comment section real quick, show me your skills, but no Googling, okay? So I asked myself this question this morning and I couldn't answer it. I could only come up with the names of 2 companies that Alphabet owns. So in today's episode, I'm going to give you the latest addition to the Alphabet family that was just announced this morning, as well as break down the entire family tree of Alphabet. Here we go. So Google's parent company Alphabet is acquiring the health tracking company Fitbit, ticker symbol FIT, clever, for $2.1 billion. Now, this deal is going to pay out about $7.35 per share for Fitbit stock, which happened to be trading at about $6.16 per share this morning in the pre-market activity. Now let's quickly jump to the charts and let's take a look at the price action related to this announcement this morning. Okay, I've got Fitbit right here up on the charts on the daily time frame, ticker symbol FIT over here, and you can see we got the old rocket just popping off the top here. So what I want to do real quick is just zoom out so you can see Fitbit and how bad things have been since its highs of 51.90 back in August of 2015. So it IPO'd, pushed up, and then it's just been in this falling madness ever since, with a little blip in here in June of 2018, and then it continued to just roll on downhill. So it's been struggling, as you can see on all these earnings announcements down here. A lot of them are negative, that they weren't making any money. So we've tracked all the way out. And then we started to get some talks about Google, about Alphabet, and how Alphabet, who is the parent company to Google, was looking to acquire Fitbit. So when that was announced this morning, the news broke, and as you can see, anyone holding Fitbit shares is probably really excited right now because we're currently trading at $7.14 a share. We were at a high of $7.26 a share this morning, and now you might be asking yourself, well, now is Fitbit a buy? Should I buy Fitbit? Is this going to be a huge thing with Alphabet gobbling it up? And I think the answer ultimately is yes, it is a big deal for Fitbit, and we'll get into that a little more here in a minute. But I wanted to just show you that, once we get that pop and we're up here, now if we get in now, we would just be chasing. This is overextended now. We have to wait for a pullback. If we look at the MACD, you can see we're really green on the upside. We need to get that expansion to the downside before we revert to the mean and head back to the north side. So what I'm going to be waiting for on this to be watching Fitbit is I want to see Fitbit come settle back down, and conveniently enough, we've got this green line here, which is the 200 simple moving average. We've got the blue line, which is the 20 simple moving average, and then as you all know, the red one is the 50 simple moving average. Now, as you can see, with this price activity pushing up and the next few days being up here, these lines are going to all kind of converge, and I'm going to be looking for Fitbit to drop back down into that $5 area. If we get back in that $5.50 area, that's going to be really appealing, in my opinion, to start gobbling up a few shares, because this is huge news. Alphabet, they have capital. They can infuse Fitbit with the money they need to make all their dreams come true. So I think that this could be a very interesting buy going forward, being that Fitbit doesn't have debt, and we'll talk about that a little later as well. But this is a very good sign for Fitbit and its shareholders. And the other very interesting thing is, on November 6th, we're going to get earnings. So we're going to see what happens here, what their earnings are. We'll see what that does to this price action, and then we'll make decisions moving forward from there. But right now, I'm really excited about what's happening with Fitbit with this acquisition. Now, if we flip over real quick and we look at Alphabet, and I'm going to turn on the pre-market hours as well. So this caused a gap up in Alphabet as well. But then you can see after it topped out around 1270, 1271, it's then sort of sold back off. So not as huge an effect, obviously, on Alphabet, which is pretty typical. The company that does the acquiring doesn't typically get the biggest boost. It's usually the company that's being gobbled up that gets the run up in price, because
they declare a purchase price per share for the company, which in this case is over $7 per share for Fitbit. So we'll keep an eye on this, and we're going to be looking for a pullback into a support area along these moving averages before going higher. So with that, let's jump back in. Let's talk some more news.
So Alphabet has struggled to gain much traction in the growing wearables market, and this acquisition will give it a significant leg up. Not to mention, the additional resources of Alphabet will help bolster Fitbit's development and production of amazing wearables. Now, Google was one of the first big name players to jump into the smartwatch space with its Android Wear operating system. And since this time, they've rebranded this wearable system to Wear OS. But market share has been very, very small so far. Now, users of Wear OS saw its global share of the smartwatch market fall, while Fitbit, get this, saw its share rise from 3.7% in Q1 of 2018 to 5.5% in Q1 of 2019. Now, one thing a lot of people don't realize is Fitbit has been steadily pushing into the software market and has inked some exciting deals with insurance providers to help subscribers improve their health, and recently announced a partnership with Bristol Myers Squibb and Pfizer to develop technologies to detect atrial fibrillation, which is a heart condition, within its users. In August, Fitbit debuted its Fitbit Premium service. How many times can I say Fitbit? In August, Fitbit debuted its Fitbit Premium subscription service, and I'm apologizing for saying Fitbit so many times in this video, which provides subscribers with customized fitness and health guides based on their goals. This is all available for about $9.99 per month or $79.99 for a full year. And Fitbit Premium is being positioned as a key differentiator for the company compared to you-know-who, Apple, which doesn't offer such a custom service. So now let's quickly talk about Alphabet and dissect the family tree so you have a better understanding of what Alphabet owns, what falls underneath it, and you can check your answers to the question I asked in the intro. So let's take a look at this graphic here. So what you see here is the family tree for Alphabet. Moving from left to right, you can see Alphabet owns Calico, Nest, which is the home smart solutions for adjusting temperature with your smartphone. You have Sidewalk, GV, we have X, which is secretive moonshots, Jigsaw, Verily, DeepMind, which is their AI research, Waymo, self-driving cars. Then they have a capital section and access and energy. Now, and under access and energy, it's interesting, you see Google Fiber there, which is wild. Now, underneath Alphabet, if you look right in the middle of your graphic, you'll see there's Google. Now, Google is underneath Alphabet, but Google has its own tier of pieces that fall underneath of it. Starting from the left, it's got Google Ads, it's got the Google Cloud, YouTube, where we are right now. They own Android. Google oversees Android, which a lot of people don't realize. Then they have hardware such as Pixel and Chromecast, and then they have an infrastructure piece underneath of Google. So this is the entire family tree, which is really, really big for Alphabet. But if you think of it as in two tiers, Alphabet being the main player and then Google being a subsidiary or a smaller second tier underneath that has pieces underneath it, it's kind of easier to keep track of it in your head. So this is the full layout for Alphabet.
Now, what I want to also jump into is I want to go into the TD Ameritrade platform here, and I brought Fitbit up, ticker FIT, and I just want to show you a couple of things about the fundamentals that have me excited as well on Fitbit. There's Fitbit one more time for you. If we go to fundamentals and we pop over here to the balance sheet, one thing that's very interesting to me is you can see their cash and short-term investments from 2014, and this is in millions, 196 million. It jumped to 664 in 2015. Then we bumped to 706 in 2016, 679 in 2017, and 723 in 2018. So this is the highest level of cash and short-term investments that Fitbit has ever had, and this was as of the end of 2018. So that's very bullish in my opinion, especially with the acquisition with Alphabet picking them up. And then if we come down here and we look down at the liabilities, I always like, and you guys know, I always like to go to total debt. I like to see what's going on. And you can see back in 2014, 148 million in debt, but then moving forward, they eliminated all of their debt, and now they have a debt level of 0. So that makes me very excited for Fitbit because they're kind of starting in a clean spot. They had a pretty good balance sheet to start off, and now they're being bought by Alphabet, who's going to be infusing cash into their system, which is going to make things all the better for Fitbit and their development. Now, if I flip over to the quarter, that was annual. If I go to the quarter and we look at their debt, you can see right here for the quarter 2 of 2019 that they held from quarter 1 $2 million of debt. But if we come up here and we take a look at their cash and short-term investments quarter over quarter, you can see they're holding a massive amount of cash and short-term investments relative to their debt. So 565 million in cash, short-term investments. You could call it 335 million in cash and 2 million in debt this past quarter, which was carried over from quarter 1. So very good on the balance sheet, which has me very excited about this whole situation for Fitbit. So drop down in the comments below. Let me know what you think of this. Let me know if Fitbit is interesting to you for a long position anytime soon, and why would you buy it, and at what price level would you consider jumping in. Have a great weekend, everyone. Hope you were green today, and we'll see you next week.